We're switched it over.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we've read all or parts of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. This week we read Monster Musume, chapters 1 through 26. 1-2 right now before we even go any further to let you know that this is a mature manga. Mature manga.
Nips everywhere.
There's lots of nips and boobies, so just so you know, fair warning right now. But I am Erin of HappiLeeErin, your host, and with me are my three lovely co-hosts, as well as a very special guest. So we'll have everybody introduce themselves, starting with Dodger.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dodger of youtube.com/press-to-continue, and I'm delighted to be talking about Monster Girls for the next hour. It's gonna be just based off of our sound check. I am so excited for us to talk about Monster Girls. It's gonna be great.
I'm Yokurama, and I'm just also excited. But funny thing is, we've been talking. We've been like manga potting for like 30 minutes beforehand, like Dodger said. So we're gonna probably go back and touch more upon those details. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, we've had like 30 minutes of practice. My name's Lou from Lou Talks Anime. I almost said my old username.
It must be
So hard to not
I know,
just, like go into
2 years.
autopilot.
2 years I was using the old one, so. But yeah,
You'll get
Lou
it.
from Lou Talks Anime. What up?
You'll get it.
Monster booty.
Monster booty.
Very little booty, a lot of cleavage.
A lot of
Hi,
nipples.
I'm Arkada from Glass Reflection on YouTube, and I do anime reviews, and I'm here today to talk boobs. I'm
Yeah.
excited. This is my excited face.
So,
We're good.
okay, perfect. If you guys don't know, remember, Arkada was here to join us for Sailor Moon last time, so
This is
we've
the natural
definitely
progression,
upgraded.
I think.
Way back in the day.
Definitely
This is how it
upgraded.
goes. This is how it goes. I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you don't
what's gonna
wanna
come
know.
after Monster Musume?
Hardcore hentai.
Hardcore hentai. All the yaoi. Hardcore yaoi. But yes, thank you so much for coming back and joining us once again. We are very happy to have you, sir.
Happy to be here.
If you have never joined us for a manga pod before, what we like to do is give you a short, spoiler-free description, aka a summary of the monster that we read. You can call it that. It's
We're gonna
basically
give you
what
a
it
can
summary of
call
all
it
of the
that.
Monster Girls.
all the monster girls.
And then suddenly the show will be over because it would literally take that long.
Takes so
There are so many Monster Girls.
And that will be read by our lovely guest. And then after he finishes that, we will do our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time reading this manga or not. That way, if you do not want to be spoiled, you can take your leave and go and read the manga, then come back and watch the VOD of this on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. Do you want to say right now, please, until we get into the spoiler section, keep all spoilers out of the chat. Everything is spoiler-free right now until we get to that section, and then after that, only spoil stuff up to chapter 26 because that is all that we read. So please don't be a rotten bacon butt and spoil anything past that. Yeah, so let's go ahead with our description, sir.
The description. Monsters. They're real. And they want to date us! 3 years ago, the world learned that harpies, centaurs, catgirls, and all manners of fabulous creatures are not merely fiction. They are flesh and blood, not to mention scale, feather, horn, and fang. Thanks to the Cultural Exchange Between Species Act, these once mythical creatures have assimilated into society, or at least, they're trying. When a hapless human named Bland Protagonist A is introduced as a volunteer into a government exchange program, his world is turned upside down. A snake like the llama named Mia comes to live with him, and it is his job to take care of her and make sure that she integrates into his everyday life. Unfortunately for him, she is undeniably sexy, and the law against interspecies breeding is quite strict. Even worse when a ravishing centaur girl and flirtatious, yes, that's flirtatious, harpy move in. What's a full-blooded young man with raging hormones to do? Not have sex, because this is not a hentai.
Despite popular belief.
That's it.
Which actually
Despite
is not a
popular
hentai.
This is not actually
Close.
a hentai.
Close.
Not actually a
close.
hentai, though I do question whether or not the show would have been better, or not the show. There is a show, but if the manga was actually hentai, I'm wondering how much better it would be.
I actually do
I am
want to
curious.
talk about that. When
Yeah,
we're in the
we'll
spoiler section.
We'll hit that. Awesome. We'll hit that. Thank you so much. That was brilliant.
Dude,
That was
that's like,
brilliant.
yeah. Anytime I need a synopsis or description read, I'll call you. I mean, that's,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
that was really good.
You just pop up just to read the description, and you're like, I'm
Yeah, just
out.
pop
All
up.
right, thanks.
Nowhere.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We have it like pre-recorded, so we can
Pre-recorded
just play
stuff, and
it.
then you just go to me. Yeah. Okay. I'll do it. I don't mind.
Throw it to Arkada. Awesome. Let's do spoiler-free recommendations. Would anybody like to go first?
I'll go first.
Hit it.
Run.
That's it. That's it. Okay, who's next?
That's a positive rating.
Oh, wow.
No. Yeah.
I
no,
want to go
just-
next. I want to go next.
Hit it,
Okay.
Lou.
This manga is absolute trash, but it's the best kind of trash. It's my type of trash. I love this god awful piece of crap.
Well said.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I disagree. I don't know. I don't know
You
if I
disagree
How can you
with
disagree
Lou?
with something,
You
in
disagree
my
with
opinion?
Lou
That's
loving it? Lou,
No,
you don't
I
actually.
I don't disagree in his opinion,
So
but I
excited for this one. Oh my god.
we can't even get past this one. All right,
All right, Yoku, go.
Yoku.
I disagree with what he said, except the part where he likes it, because I can't really disagree with that. But yeah, I'll leave it at that as well. I wouldn't recommend that. It's kind of it was a little bit of waste of my time. I felt like after every chapter, I just kind of didn't know why I was reading it, except for MangaPod, obviously.
I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's an example of things to read so that you know that this exists. Because you can't have really good stuff without experiencing the crap. You need to know.
If it was
But-
my choice, I would read the beginning part, but I wouldn't get to where I got, like to the chapter that I got. Because getting to chapter 25 took some time, and I didn't enjoy
Yeah,
it.
it was a bit of a slog, but it was an okay slog.
I'm so excited for this manga.
I'll go next.
Hit it.
I really liked this manga.
Oh boy.
This is like the most mixed opinions.
I know, that's why I'm so excited. I really liked this manga, because it's like, obviously, there were plenty of things that happened in this manga where I'm like, why? Like, why did that have to go down that way, like, for real? But I felt like the purpose of this manga is to explore, like, so many different fetishes. Like, if you're going into this thinking, I want something with a good story, this is not the manga for you. This is literally a manga about, like, nipples. There are nipples all over the place. Each girl, even the guy, basically everybody represents a different sort of a fetish. That's mainly all that goes on in this manga. And once I sort of accepted that, which was by like the third chapter, because like it just keeps happening. Once I sort of accepted that, I let myself enjoy it more, I guess. And by the end, I was like, oh, I kind of have affection for all of these characters now. I don't know. I enjoyed it, so.
I did not enjoy it for the most part, but there was a few parts that I enjoyed. I had a very like up and down feel about it. I would heavily recommend it to people who are into hentai and who are into like lots of nipples and ladies rubbing up on dudes and if you enjoy the comedy, that comes from that, like, oh no, my face is in her vagina again. If you enjoy that joke consistently, then this is definitely something that I think you should check out. And it is, I also think, like what Lou said, a lot of people who love stuff they think it's so bad it's good. I think this might be something that you also might enjoy. I personally did not particularly find it to my taste, but I am also kind of happy that I read it because so many people were saying to read it, and it's something I don't ever usually read. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel. That's me. I recommend it to people who enjoy ecchi
Awful
fan
things.
service, awful things. But I personally would never go out and recommend it to anybody who isn't looking for a long, extensive story about literally just that and nothing else. So, all right, so that's it for our spoiler-free recommendations. Take from those what you will.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You've been
It's
warned.
like,
Good luck.
it's like a 30-70 shot on whether or not you'll like this. I don't know.
Yeah. There you go. So let's do our countdown, shall we?
5,
5,
4, 3, 2,
2,
1.
Two is God.
Centaur's best girl.
Zoom is best girl. You shut your goddamn mouth. And Smith is God.
Smith is God.
Oh,
is
yeah.
definitely
Smith
God.
is God.
Smith is God.
She is
All right.
pulling all the strings.
All
Where
right,
the
guys.
fuck do we even start with this?
What were your expectations before going to read this manga?
Today's.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't expect there to be full nips. I thought this was
Yeah,
gonna
no.
be one of those like
Censor boobs.
you see the boob but you never see the nip. My God, were there nips just everywhere? Like so many
In
nipples that
detail.
I got desensitized and
Yeah.
didn't even think a nipple when I saw nipples. They were just nipples. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I will say I didn't expect the nipples, but I also didn't expect the nipples to be drawn as well as they were. I was
Yeah.
impressed with the
the
drawings
most
of the
work
nipples.
artistically went into the nipples for sure.
That was one of my
to be
favorite
fair,
parts. that's
Mangaka
why.
had a lot of practice.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, they had plenty of time.
To draw all those nips.
Plenty of time.
Can I say my favorite part of the manga had nothing to do with the manga? It was one of the scans of the covers where it specifically said #1 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Yes,
Really?
twice. It was
Yes.
like #1 on the New York Times bestsellers for 2 weeks in a row, and I was like, "What?"
That's funny.
I was like, "Say what?"
Was it actually?
I don't know if that's
I don't
confirmed.
remember
Like,
what
that could be a
chapter it
joke.
is. I don't know if it was a joke or not,
It's a
but
joke.
there's one. It's on the covers of one of the chapters.
Either way, it's
Or
funny.
joker.
Yeah, no, that is kind of funny.
It's amazing.
It'd be even better if it's true.
Oh yeah.
It'd be great.
I hope it's true.
Going back to expectations. I don't know what I expected, actually. I expected to enjoy it a little bit more because I thought it was going to be, I don't know, I thought it was going to be a little bit more, like, not as one note. It felt really one note and tiring to me.
Yeah.
So I thought there was going to be a little bit more to it than just, there's a lot of girls and there's a dude. I thought there was going to be a little bit more plot to it. I didn't think it was just literally every chapter was going to be a new girl and a
joined
new
the house.
way, like, boobs
Yeah.
were getting
Yeah,
touched
yeah.
and stuff like that. And so that was, I think, one of the reasons that it made me enjoy it a little bit less than I was, like, expecting. I was expecting to. It just became, the comedy wasn't what I was expecting,
Yeah.
I think.
See, when I went into this, I was fully expecting there to start off with one girl and to go to another girl and another and another and another, because it is my general opinion that if you've read Love Hina, you've read every harem ever,
It's true.
pretty
Tina's
much.
good, though.
All the harem and comedy is, or as I've seen it generally, is just the one guy who is as bland of a protagonist as you can get because the male reader has to be able to project himself onto this character, and then he happens to run into all these other female characters that somehow magically end up living with him for no really good reason, and they all fall in love with him, and then there are hijinks, but no actual sex. I was surprised at the nips. The first time I saw that in chapter 1, I was like, oh, okay, this is different. I can go with this. Let's keep going with this. That was surprising. But the general format of the story all the way through, I was like, yeah, no, that's what's going to happen. They're just going to introduce a new girl every time, and the house is going to get more and more crowded, and then we'll run out of chapters because we're just done, and they'll continue to do it and
We'll
add
never
more
run out of
girls.
house though because they'll just keep building onto the
They'll
house.
just keep building it. There must be so
more.
much space.
I
for them
want to
just
see what
build.
this house looks like from
like
an
a
aerial
mansion.
view in this
They've never,
neighborhood.
It's like the size of it's the White House or something.
Yeah. So I've never shown it outside.
They
but we
zoom
know-
out and it's just the White House.
But yeah, we've never seen the outside, but we know that there's all these different rooms because they all have their own rooms and they're all specialized. There's a
Yeah.
giant pool in the place now.
Yeah,
Even the
dude.
hallways are like gigantic.
Yeah, so
They
Centaur can
built
walk through.
they built that the bath. Like they
Yeah.
extended the bath. He mentioned it like, oh, because of you they made me a bigger bath.
Right.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah.
But you kind of know how the show, not the show, well, probably the show, but you know how the manga is going to go when there was this point, I can't remember what chapter it was, but there was like this little side section story thing where like the mangaka was a crab and she was talking about her experiences at a con, and then it showed, here's the votes of what everybody wants to see, the next monster girl, and I'm just like, oh, so this is what it's going to be. People are just going to vote. And they say, oh, I want a bee girl, and there's going to be like a girl that looks like a hornet or something, and then that'll happen. And they'll just keep going until they run out of it.
God, I hope there's.
That sounds awful.
Well, if there was a hornet girl, we could have described the show as saying, well, it's about the birds and the bees.
Hey.
Yeah.
Opportunity missed.
Yeah, I was trying to think to myself because, like, I don't know. I was trying to figure out while I was reading this, because you're right, and like pretty much every harem, they take full use of two tropes that sort of drive me nuts. One of which being like constant unresolved sexual tension, right? And then the second one being the no, I don't want it, but I really do want it. But I don't know, I don't want, but I really do want it. Sort of like molesty action in order for things to happen. And I was like, why is it that gets used so often? Like, why is that appealing? And I guess it's the only answer I can come to is that it creates a situation where you're able to maintain a certain level of like purity in characters while still using them in a sexual situation. Mm-hmm. Like, it's interesting because in this manga, he's seen like all their bits, right? Like, in Soundcheck, we were talking about how there's really no reason for a Hot Springs episode because the only reason to use a Hot Springs episode is for like steamy boob shots, which we got plenty of those already. And also for the whole like, ooh, maybe I can peep on the girls thing. He's seen all of their junk, all of them.
All of the everything.
But like he's grabbed everything too. But he has yet to kiss any of them. Mm-hmm. Which I think is so interesting.
He's held hands a couple of times.
He has held hands. But like I like that there's this situation where he keeps being molested, they all keep molesting each other in weird ways. Yeah. And yet like something as simple as a kiss has not happened because that's like too serious, right? That's like too meaningful. And in a gag manga where just like everybody's touching everybody's boobs, it's like no, the kiss has to be like an important like serious thing. Mm-hmm.
It's funny that the kiss is the serious important thing, and yet sucking on tits.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
It's totally fine.
That saved lives. Okay, that saved lives.
The sucking on tits saved lives. That is true. That protected them. Yeah, that was, I think I was saying before we started that was like the weirdest chapter for me, but also probably my favorite just because of how freaking ridiculously weird it was. That I was like, okay, yeah, no, they don't care. Like, they're gonna do the weirdest stuff. It makes me almost, the only reason I would want to keep reading this is to see how much weirder it could get. How weird can you go from sucking on giant forest tits? Like, how much weirder can it get? I don't know, guys.
I can think of quite a few.
It was so weird.
Just remembering that list of possible monster girls, I am interested when they get to the fairy. Because it's going to be this little tiny fairy. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, no.
What are they going to do with that?
She's going to go inside their vaginas.
Oh, God.
No?
That's totally going to happen. No, you're right. No, that's so going to happen.
Probably
can.
Technically,
they
might have already with Sue, the slime girl.
Yeah. She gets all up in everybody.
Dude,
all the time.
Sue is a Yuri machine. She's like on.
That's why Lou loves her.
That's true.
That's part of the reason. That's like a significant portion of the reason. Main reason, it's because I'm greedy and she can transform into other.
She can literally transform into everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
She's only turned into the dude though. Yeah, there's also Doppelganger girl.
No, she turned into all the other girls at one point when
wasn't she just clothing though?
She turned into their clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, was that what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Smith.
Yeah, that part. That was, I don't know. There was a lot happening.
I also liked Miss Smith so much more in this than Agent Smith so much more in this than in the show, because in the show she just seems like yet another character who's trying to perv on him. And in the manga she's just kind of like this flippant, like, whatever.
In the manga she's just trying to fuck with him.
Yeah, she sounds sarcastic.
She's trying to make his life more miserable, and I'm like, I'm okay with that, because that's like the theme of this whole manga. I'm totally cool with you just being like such a carefree person in a place of authority that it's like that it winds up being comical. Yeah.
And I love that something that I thought was really funny was that she has that team of monster girls.
Yeah.
And they somehow like still end up like really like sexualized and all of that, even though they're nowhere near the dude. So it's literally just like we get all of these like naked girls and stuffs all the time.
Well, I feel like Zombino wasn't really, and neither was Ogre Girl.
Well, Zombina had her tit fall off, and he had to sew it back on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I guess I shouldn't say sexualized. It's just like,
like sexy.
I guess like,
well, no,
yeah,
well,
not like
yes, her boob did fall off, and he had to sew it back on.
And when she was introduced, she had this like really skin tight outfit right before like the boar people shot her like a bunch of times. She had this really skin tight uniform, and her ass was everywhere in those shots.
Yeah. There was a lot of booty.
Yeah.
Zombooty. Let's talk about characters in a little bit more. So let's start with Mia. Let's start with Mia, everybody.
Darling.
Everybody was making fun of her for calling him darling as well.
Yeah.
A bunch of them were mocking him.
Honestly, that was one of the other things that sort of sold me on this manga, was how much it made fun of itself. Because like they'd be like, "Oh no, his life is in danger," and he's like, "My life is always in fucking danger. You guys are constantly like nearly killing me all the time." Like,
yeah.
You know, there were just so many moments, and they even refer to themselves as like his harem, or talk about the fact that they're in a manga. Like, I love stuff like that in a gag manga like this.
Yeah. Fourth wall breaking, amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Let's talk about Mia.
No, it's fine. What are your guys' thoughts on her?
I didn't like her at first. And over time, over the course of the manga, as more and more rivals and legitimate rivals started to be introduced, I found her a little bit more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like her, but she's better than she was at first.
Yeah.
I find her kind of charming now that she's like, now that we've gotten past the point of her just like constantly trying to be sexual, you know, and now that it's like, I'm gonna try to learn how to cook, and constantly just making everybody like want to vomit because her cooking's so bad, and things like that, and going back and forth between like, wouldn't I be a great wife, to like, I'm gonna murder that bitch. Like, I like those switches in her character. It makes her way more interesting and endearing to me, instead of the whole like, darling, I want to touch your butt shit, because she hasn't done that in forever.
Yeah.
No. When I started, like before I actually looked into it and I just kind of read up on it, I figured that she was going to be like the token tsundere of the entire group, because again, I have the whole love Hina is everything thing. So I kind of expected that, but then I went into it and I was like, oh, okay, no, she's not a tsundere. She's a yandere that just can't kill anybody.
Yeah, she goes kind of nuts sometimes.
She's like, ooh, another rival.
Yeah, another rival. But actually, near the end of it, it's just like she expects it. She's not surprised at another rival. She's just like, all right, here we go. Let's bring him in. Let's go.
Yeah. She does. Yeah, she definitely grew on me from like the first chapter where I was like, girl, you're kind of rapey. Girl, you're a little rapey.
Yeah, for sure.
She definitely toned that back a lot when more people got introduced, and she realized that like she had to compete more now, I think. And so like
as like a person, and
as a person,
another set of boobs,
because maybe this manga is actually really deep and teaching us that sex doesn't get you everything. Because now she has to like use her brains and her skills and everything else. She can't just like push her boobs up on him and expect him to just fall for her, because now there's all sorts of boobs being pushed up on him. And so it's about falling in love with the person, not the boobs, you know? Mm-hmm. Mia.
I don't know. I really felt kind of the same about her throughout the whole time. I'm sort of neutral when it comes to all the characters when it comes to this manga. I didn't really care for any of them. None of them. Maybe it's because they were all monster girls, and it was just very distracting and kind of. I kind of felt confused while reading this because it's like a centaur, and I'm like thinking, okay, where's her vagina? Like okay, understandable on the snake vagina. She wears like those panties. But
they explained it in the
early.
pool episode.
Yeah, that was before when like they met and he sat on her back and like I was kind of lost, and I was like, this is like so weird. She got really big tits. It's a centaur chick. Then there's the snake. I mean, for me, like I was kind of neutral to them, but it's not that I didn't find like scenes funny or semi interesting throughout what I read. I mean, it's not like I completely just sat through it like, oh, hey, no, I was laughing my ass off like 90% of the time. Even at parts where like I didn't really like, but still like the way they would kind of like structure it with all these tits flying out. I mean, you gotta like laugh. There's no way you're gonna just sit in there reading that with like a straight face. I mean, it's kind of. I was showing my friend. I was reading on my phone, and I'm like, "Hey, look at this." He's like, "What the fuck are you reading?"
Yeah.
So I mean, like Mia, she's all right, I guess, for a series like this. I mean, I just don't see like a really deep meaning. I really like how Dodger kind of like she kind of opened my eyes in a deeper way when it comes to her when she said. But
Mia reminds me of Coco from Golden Time.
What she said about the whole thing where her personality is just all over the place. I mean, that's kind of cool. It makes scenes much more interesting, scenarios much more fun. Of just her, you're not sure which side of her she's gonna use because at one point she's kind of like flipping out, but then out of nowhere she's all like quiet and happy and smiling, and you're kind of like, where's this going? Like you're. So I mean that made it more fun, made it more interesting. But really, she's nothing like special.
Well, what do you think? What do you think the writers could have, or writer rather, could have done to make it more interesting for you then?
Well, for me, the thing is the series concept in general, like it took way too long until I actually started to show any interest to the main story because the whole introducing a chick after a chick after a chick, the story wasn't really going anywhere. It just felt like it was on a very.
It's not about the story.
I know.
It's literally about monster girls showing their boobies. That's the whole point of this manga.
But the thing is, I just didn't enjoy it. Maybe it's the mindset I was in because I've read many manga and I've seen many ecchi anime that don't always go to the extent of Monster Musume. Maybe it was them going to that extent that kind of like pushed me aside, like away from this series. But I know like the audience this is towards, but for me it just kind of I had my mind at a different place. I guess when I was reading, it just didn't connect with me. I guess you got to be really like in a easy lifting going mood when you're reading this. You're not gonna just go and read this at any time. It's for a certain moment when you're gonna read it. I mean, I'd rather.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're not gonna.
A certain moment when you're alone, right after you.
Drapes closed.
Candles lit.
I mean, it's a funny series. It does what it wants to do. It doesn't take itself seriously, but I guess not. It's just not my kind of humor at its fullest. I prefer other ways of ecchi being done. Actually, like this is just maybe it's just because it's too over the top. I mean, nipple, boob, every other panel, and maybe it's just too much. It kind of like
it stops
takes
feeling
away.
like a reward.
It takes away. Yeah, not really a reward. I wouldn't put it as that necessarily, but it just felt cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like boobs flying out here, boobs flying out there. Okay, you've used that like 2 panels ago. Now you're using that again on every girl. So every girl is pretty much just on the same level for me because of that. And the main character is cliche as well. I mean, that's like every other character. Out of nowhere, he wants to protect them and marry one of them and shit. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm kind of looking at this a little bit too seriously, maybe than everybody else that's reading this, but it's just.
Go deep, man.
My bad.
Go deep.
Go deep.
My bad. I
have to go deeper.
The thing is, I've read 5 chapters of this back when it just started coming out. I actually was reading it, and for some reason, I don't remember not liking it. I actually enjoyed it, but I never came back to it. I don't know why I didn't really, but I just kind of stopped reading it. Kind of fell behind. But going back to it, I was kind of expecting to actually like it. I was kind of thinking like, oh, I remember reading that. It's getting an anime. That's cool. That's a manga I read before the anime. Sweet, you know. But really, I was just kind of, maybe I just kind of hyped it up for myself as well. There's a lot of reasons. This made me feel a lot of things.
I do agree. I do I mean, I agree with you when you're saying that like a lot of the comedy felt cheap, and I went into it expecting more of a comedy. Or like it to be a comedy, and that's what it was. But it just for me, like the comedy, like you were saying, fell flat because it was the same joke every single time for the most part. Like, my favorite parts of it was when they brought in a joke that hadn't been used before. Mostly because like even if it wasn't super funny, it was funny because it wasn't the same joke. So I was like, whoa.
But for me, that wasn't enough. I mean, I guess it didn't happen as often as I would hope for it to happen. Because there was chapters that felt like you're just reading the same thing over and over again, just with little different plot, you know. Yeah. And but I do agree that the jokes that do stand out, the scenes and moments, they were funny. There were some laugh out loud moments where I would just start cracking up.
You lulled.
So I mean, there was moments like that, and I enjoyed them. But for me, it wasn't worth.
Somebody in the chat, Helix919 goes, Yoku demands a higher caliber of smut.
That's funny.
After this, you should like send us all links of things that you would actually consider to be really deep but still edgy. I'm curious.
Yes,
I'm not trying to be deep, but like it's just didn't.
Succeeding.
Okay.
So Mia.
Okay, yeah. There we were.
Are you okay? What about other girls? Okay, guys, bring up a girl that you would like. You have strong feelings for.
I do agree about Sue being my favorite as well, because she was the most different out of all of them, and just not talking that often and all that. I mean, that was.
With Sue is that she was basically Sue from. I keep bringing up the Love Hina, but there's so many like. And they have a character with the exact same freaking name, and she fills the exact same role. It's like they weren't even trying to cover it up.
This guy is just
instead of being some foreigner from like, I'm trying to remember where she was from, like India or from in Love Hina. She's a slime girl here that doesn't talk very much, but it's just
yeah.
What did y'all think of Spider Girl?
I actually loved Spider Girl.
I love Spider Girl.
I like Spider Girl because she didn't fall immediately into the tits and ass category. Which
Spider Girl was a little bit of a breath of fresh air, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's just so like her personality is just like it is very different from the other girls. Where hers
so
is
much
just
more upfront.
Very upfront, exactly upfront and like
she's more
blunt.
Mature.
She's blunt and sarcastic, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's good.
And the BDSM is a plus.
I was gonna say, and I liked, like, for what it's worth, I loved that they had somebody representing like a BDSM fetish. You know, for whatever reason, I was just kind of like, I love that you exist in this world.
They'd run out of fetishes eventually, so they had to get into it.
They had to get her. It's so funny that she molests literally everybody.
Yeah.
Just
and
like
they're all everyone.
Like, Rackney.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
Yeah. And main character is a leg man, so she basically already won.
That part was really funny to me. That's one of the things that made me laugh really hard, because it's like you always get the tits versus ass, and so they have a main character that's like, no, I actually just love legs, and the fact that the Spider Girl is the one that he shows real immediate attraction to.
Yeah,
she's
she's like, admit it, you like my human part of my body, but my bottoms freak you out, and he's like, no, I dig it.
That was
So at first I was curious if he was just saying that because he feared for his life. But I don't know. Yeah.
Because they had
because remember earlier he said,
right.
Earlier he said something about how he loved legs too.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. That was right.
No.
Another interesting
his love is real.
Another interesting character was the mermaid. The mermaid who loved tragedy.
Yeah.
So weird.
She was so
damaged. That was an interesting fetish. I wasn't expecting that. That was weird. It's like, no, I'm fine with somebody else being it because I'm going to be the tragic love story in the background, and I'm like,
I feel like
that's sad, but at least
they wanted to bring in a character who was like supposed to be gorgeous, like somebody who could interact with anybody, and they'd be like, wow, she's so beautiful, right? But then he was like, well, but everybody else so far wants his nuts, so she's got to be different somehow. You know, like
yeah, but she's the mermaid, so let's do the non-Disney version of the Little Mermaid and actually have her be the tragic heroine person.
Yeah.
So it worked out well, I think.
Very odd.
That well for her.
Mm-hmm.
The part where she wanted him to fertilize her eggs. I was like, I felt like they just needed to get one more joke in there to extend like the chapter length a few pages. So they're like, what can we do? Let's have Mermaid Girl need her eggs fertilized. And I was like,
Speaking of eggs, that egg scene with Poppy.
Oh my god.
Weirdest
Okay, no, you're right. I forgot about that. That is much weirder than the boob sucking milk thing.
That chapter was so weird. Not because harpy eggs would be like worth a lot, but because they were like, we're gonna film it coming out. And they were like, okay. I was like, what?
Is that like
you don't need anything official to like be okay?
Yes.
No, they're directors. This is art.
Yeah, everything is art.
It was really strange. And how like main dude's behind her, like holding her open as it's happening. I was like, is this a pregnancy fetish happening right here? I don't want to keep reading this. It was really strange.
Yep.
That was a real weird scene. Let's talk about Pappy. What are your guys' thoughts on Pappy? I'm seeing chat has a lot of feelings about Pappy. She's both worst and best girl.
Well, the chat thinks that about all of them.
Yeah, that's.
I am not a fan of like lolly stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, it weirds me out that she's meant to look like a little girl, but she's the same age as them, so it's totally fine.
It's totally legal.
It's totally fine. Yeah.
It's just not. It's not something that I'm into. So like in terms of like, who should he go for? I'm like, please don't go for Poppy. But I like that Poppy is this character who is totally down to be friends with everybody, is like totally willing to help everybody, right? Like she wants to bone the MC, but not at the expense of like not having friends, right? Like she's that one character who's like, no, I gotta help everybody. Everybody's my friend. Everything's fine. We're all a family. And I'm like, I appreciate having at least one character like that who appreciates everybody, you know, or sees the good in everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, some of my favorite scenes were the ones where it was just Sue and Poppy playing in the background.
Yeah.
Just because they just got along so well, and she's just like Poppy's. I don't like her character when she's interacting with the MC, but I like her as a character, if that makes any sense, because she's just so energetic and upbeat. I like that.
Yeah. There's not really any chemistry between her and main dude either.
No. She's there for a couple of gags, and she had a little bit when she was introduced, but other than that, she's solidly a background character.
Yeah.
My
favorite,
like
little sister.
Yeah. My favorite Poppy joke is her immediately forgetting things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The times when that has happened, where she's like, like,
yeah, that was shown ever since the beginning.
Something. Yeah, it's really funny for me.
Silly bird brain.
Silly bird brain. She goes on bird walks all the time.
Big little dummy.
Then we have Centura. Is that her name? Centura girl.
Centauria.
AKA the like tsun-tsun.
She was the tsun-tsun. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I did love how she spoke. The way she spoke. She's like, "Thou must not ride upon me."
Yeah, I feel
and how that was a very consistent.
And no one made fun of her for it either. Yeah. They like never brought up like, why are you talking so formal? They were just like, oh, that's how she talks. It's just like totally accepted.
With her, I got the feeling that it was whenever they were deciding what the personality of this character should be, somebody just went on like a binge marathon of like the Fate Stay Night series, and it's just like that. People like that, right? Let's go with
that. She's Saber.
Yeah, she's basically Saber. Yeah.
She is. The little bit of Reen thrown in there.
Yeah, a little bit of Reen, mostly Saber, except bigger tits than either of them, because that's a thing.
She could not keep her clothes on. I mean, no, none of them could keep their clothes on.
I was gonna say.
It's just like their clothes are so flimsy.
They have to be that big for the babies. Babies.
Yeah, because centaur babies are so big. That's why their boobies have to be so big.
Right. Sorry.
Not her
I
fault.
like.
I love that excuse.
It took me a second to hear, like, I was like, where is that coming from, Yoku? You're just like, it's for the babies.
I followed you, Yoku. I know what you were saying.
It's like,
Why
what
would
part of
somebody
this
think
is
of
for
the
the
children?
babies?
It's not at that moment.
It's for the baby.
It's for the baby.
Babies.
They will never starve.
Monster Musume.
Yeah, I think if I were to say just as like a blanket feel about the whole thing that I wished for something to not exist, it would be like I just wish that it didn't rely so heavily on like dubious consent or non-consent.
Yeah.
Like I wish
Yeah.
that so much of it wasn't like somebody's molesting me like constantly.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's-
and then, like,
yeah.
they're totally fine with it after. And I get that, like, I don't know. I get that you're not supposed to take any of this seriously. Like, even the stuff that was the other thing that I preferred to the anime is that the anime does try to, like, make certain parts serious. The manga never really tries to make anything serious. Like, even those moments where it's like, I have a feeling about a thing, it lasts for, like, one panel, and then it turns into a gag immediately, right? Like, they never want you to actually take any of it seriously. But I do wish that way more of it was, like, consensual weird stuff. Like, that would make it better for me, for sure.
I agree 100% with that. I think that's one of the reasons that as I was reading it, I was just like, I just can't, it's just not cool to me. Like, it's just such dubious consent that, like,
But
I
they
understand.
can't have consent. That's kind of the
I
problem, because if
know.
he gives consent, that means he's chosen
But
the
even
girl.
even between girls,
But even
though.
between girls,
Yeah.
yeah. Like when Spider Girl is molesting one of them, she's like, "No, stop, or get your face out of there." And then they don't get their face out of there. It's just like this weird, like, there's so many times where no is being said in a context where the girls are like in a sexual situation that it just feels really weird, even though like Dodger said, you're not supposed to take anything seriously in it. It's just like, I've seen that so many times. I'm just so jaded by it that when I see it, even if it's in a gag, I'm just like, I can't even find it funny anymore because it's so tired.
I will
Yeah.
say though, in like counter to that, the one trope that is very common to harem series that wasn't in here was the, oh my god, I grabbed her tit, and then suddenly they whack him over the head with a giant tuntamer or something.
true.
I'm glad that was not anywhere to be seen, because
The
that's
closest
overdone.
thing was when the main character grabbed Mia's panties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
That's-
closest, and that was like really early on too.
Yeah.
Can we?
Speaking of which, do any of you know the name of the main character?
Shoo.
I don't.
It's only been said
Right?
once, isn't it? Hasn't it?
I thought he was just MC.
Isn't it Shoo? Hold on.
I don't know.
Main
I know
no,
they-
it was
they
it was Kurusu.
Oh, Kurusu.
Kimihiko.
Shoo. Yeah,
Kurusu.
Kurusu. But yeah, I just hear darling every time.
Yeah,
Darling
darling
husband,
husband.
boyfriend, hubby.
Sweetie, honey. Yeah, they
Yeah.
all have their own like pet name for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a real name.
Can we talk about the skin shedding scene?
No.
What were your guys' thoughts on that?
Sure. Aaron, what were your thoughts on that?
It was real strange. It was real weird.
That's some lewd shit.
It was very lewd. That's true. I was just like,
Legit.
but I couldn't stop reading it. I was like, what? Okay. Okay. And then she kept her skin.
Yeah, she kept
Yeah.
So
it.
like, they came back to it.
Mr.
They
Mike-
came back to it later on. I was like, what a strange. I don't know. It just was very. It was very confusing. I was confused while I was reading it, but it was funny. The same. And nobody else has thoughts on skin shitting?
No.
Okay.
It was
It happens.
Perfect.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Moved on from it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm about to get deep right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yoku, get deep on the skin shedding.
About the skin
Not
shedding.
bad.
Skin
I'm
shedding.
getting
What?
comfortable.
That's
It'll
what
be
I,
fine.
what fetish is that? Is that just no fetish? It's just a thing?
Skin-
Just a
skin-
thing? Is that a sunburn fetish?
Maybe it's
She could pull
similar
off
to like a humiliation fetish, because the girl Mia
like
was
a
super
beat.
embarrassed.
But like
Like-
in general, Mia is like supposed to be the like domestic fetish more than anything. Like just the one where it's like she wants to be constantly taking care of him, and you know, like gets really excited when he takes care of her too. But like for him to be taking care of something like that is like, yeah, embarrassing for her as well. I don't know.
I don't know either. Sunburn fetish.
Sunburn fetish.
Let's see. Let's talk about art. Let's jump to art. What are your guys' thoughts on the art?
Great nipples.
Yeah,
Tits are great.
5 out of 5.
Great nipple art. My God.
The perspectives a lot of times were actually pretty well done too.
Yeah.
I wish so badly I could show chat that picture that I showed you guys earlier. I started taking pictures with my phone of all of the times when boobs were doing things that boobs don't do.
Yeah.
My God, it's often.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
want you to post them on like Twitter, just like with not safe for work, and then post it. So they have their warning.
Here you go. Here's all of the boobs.
Here's
that
all the
don't make
boobies.
sense.
There were times, yeah, the boobs were, there is a lot of boobs don't do that in this manga, where you're just very confused about the grabbing of the boobs. Like, it was drawn very often.
Mhm.
So you got to see a lot of grabbage of the boobs, and I was like, God, that has to hurt. That's all I could think every single time was like the way it's drawn with like the skin coming out between the fingers, because that's how hard they're being
exactly.
grabbed.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
on the butts
wow.
too.
Yeah.
When they grab the butts. I'm like, it looks like his fingers are like in there.
They're about to get absorbed.
yeah.
Very strong.
Which they do when it's Sue.
When it's
Yeah.
Sue, it makes
To be
sense.
fair.
But yeah, when it's everybody else, I'm like, God, boob is that how boob skin works? Because I don't think it is.
It does for
It's just
monster
like-
girls.
Yeah, it's because they're
Monster girls, yeah, boobs.
Physics don't apply.
Boobs don't.
That's the answer to every complaint about this series.
They're monster girls.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, so sometimes with that, it was like, I mean, it was drawn really nicely. Like, if the art itself, you're like, okay, I don't
Really
like what's
clean
being
art,
drawn,
yeah.
but it's like content-wise, it looks very clean and pretty.
Art is definitely clean. I did enjoy it. There wasn't moments where I was like lost. It was all just kind of like, this is what's happening and very clear. I like
Yeah.
that. It would
I
be
mean,
really annoying if I would get lost.
Yeah.
I like
Somebody
the
in
designs.
chat- Sorry, somebody in chat just said stop ruining our fantasies, and I thought it was funny.
Sorry, guys and gals. Sorry. Lou, what were you gonna say?
No, that I really like all the designs. Like, the designs themselves were really well done, with the exception of Lala-chan. I did not like her at all.
Her design.
Her design, I just
Lala?
the Dullahan.
Dulahan, who at the
Right.
very end.
Really, I loved her.
I liked her
loved her
design,
design
yeah.
a lot.
Like,
And I like
her
that she's-
her character I did like, but the design, like, just her aesthetic, I don't know.
Is it because
Oh,
they
I
didn't
loved it
actually
'cause she
focus
was
too much on her
so
tits and ass
creepy.
in that particular case?
Yeah,
There was a lot of
Pretty
head
much.
porn, I guess.
There was a lot
a lot
of
of
decapitation fetish happening there.
Maybe asphyxiation fetishes or something. No, wait, no, that's more Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked her a lot because she was so weird.
Yeah.
She just
Super
like
weird.
shows up behind
It's
people.
like
and is
you're gonna die.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill you. Yeah, I'm just like you're so
And her
weird.
face is like so
Everybody's already
blank.
weird. And like yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what I didn't like about it, is that her design is just so different from the rest of them.
It
Yeah.
stood out as weird because yeah. I got confused. I got a lot of times Mia and Mermaid Girl. I got them confused.
Yeah.
A lot. Their designs, every other character design-wise is pretty different from one another, but those two were incredibly similar, especially with the fact that they both had like really long tails.
Yeah.
Because
that's-
one's a snake
that's
and one's a
probably why.
mermaid. And so, but even like I feel like the mangaka didn't do enough to differentiate the tops from the bottom.
They were easily easier to differentiate between the two when they were wearing clothes. Unfortunately, because of this manga that's laid out, that's not always a thing.
No. Yeah.
I mean, Mia's got the face stuff, but sometimes you just didn't see it because of hair or whatever else.
Yeah.
I got an idea. They should make a line of figures that are just holding together by magnets in the middle, and you can mix and match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they have a top bottom and an upper bottom. You can like make your favorite one.
They do have an upper bottom. Yes, you're right, Yoku. They usually call that the top.
So we can make like a half mermaid, half snake girl where it's just two tails.
I mean, it's like this. It's like a Skylanders Swap Force. That should be like a game, like a.
That is probably the worst and yet most brilliant idea.
I bet you that would be like that would be gold. I mean, that would make money. That would make money. I mean,
Yoku, start a Kickstarter.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Somebody in chat goes, bottom equals best girl.
Two bottoms.
Top, bottom, and upper bottom.
I was just too excited about that. I had an idea.
Bottom. I don't know. Put them all together.
And then if you use the other sides, they just basically turn into cat dog.
There's just cat dogs.
Wait until you actually get the cat and the dog character.
Yeah.
Kind of cat dog.
Oh my god.
What were we talking about?
Art.
Art.
Were we?
Everything is art, so yes. That's
Yes, all Musume is art. We are coming up on an hour here, so we can give our final thoughts and ratings, unless anybody else has any other thing they would like to bring up and touch on.
No. I think we covered it all.
I think we're pretty good. Lots of monster nips.
Yeah.
All right, who would like to go first for your final thoughts and your ratings? I'm actually, I won't go, I don't know if I can go first yet because I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm giving it a higher rating than I was going to give it before we started this.
I'm trying to decide, on my score.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go first because I don't give scores, so I want a baseline to go off.
Oh, okay, no, you're fine.
Oh, our scores don't
fine.
mean anything, really.
Okay, I'll go first.
Scores don't matter.
Aaron
scores-
adds like 4 decimal
Hey,
points.
each decimal is a feeling, okay?
Yeah, no, I'm all 4 decimal places. People hated me for that back in the day, but yeah.
Oh no.
Cat dog best girl.
Cat dog is
not even in this manga yet.
Cat dog fetish, anybody? No.
Not yet.
No, it is gonna be. Send us your cat dog fan art.
Wait, along with your final thoughts and ratings, you have to say who you actually thought was best girl.
Oh.
Okay, I'll go first.
Out of literally all the girls.
I don't all the girls.
Okay. Characters and story were, I guess, serviceable.
Fan serviceable, you might say?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't really hate any of the girls apart from Mia for a significant portion of the time. A lot of the gags were hit or miss. The art was decent, like decent to good at times. Like there was never an instance where I was lost in terms of what I was reading, and so yeah, just putting. See, it's hard to put a score on that because I really enjoyed the manga for being crap. So how do I give?
It's like watching a porn
accommodates it?
and being like, was that a good movie or not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It starts leading into the it's so bad it's good.
Exactly.
That's where it's heading. It's not 100% there yet because my baseline for that is, or the recent baseline for that would be Cross Angie because Cross Angie is godly. But I'll give it a 7. Why not? Solid 7.
7 monster nips out of 10 monster nips.
7 monster nips out of 10 monster nips.
And your best girl?
Sue. Sue.
Ooh.
Because it rhymes with my name.
Ah.
Sue X Flu. Oh gosh.
I think I'm gonna stand by my run.
Run out of 10?
Well, yeah, run out of 10. Well, because here's the thing: is like, if you want a harem, go watch Love Hina. If you want monster girls, you'll probably be better off with this Japanese game series called Monster Girl Quest, which is
wrong.
actually
No,
hentai.
wrong. Wrong. I know this game. Wrong.
I would like to know why he's wrong, Dodger. Please tell me.
Lou, you should play the game. I think
Good.
I'm on it. Twitch.tv/Lou Talks Anime.
Lou plays Monster Girls.
You can't actually play it, unfortunately. It's porn.
It's
Yeah.
It is straight up porn. Although you can do what I do and just put cat faces over all the bits. It takes a longer time to edit, but worth it.
Oh my god.
But no, that's basically it. There the parts that you may like. There are things better than this, much better than this. So, run.
Yeah.
Out of
Run
10.
out of 10. That's what
Run
I'm
out of
saying.
10.
Run
Yeah,
out
you
of
sound. The tone of your voice is a little bit different than your first run, though. When you first said run, so
Because
I understand now.
yeah, or it was very serious. Run. No, just seriously. Listen to me. Listen.
I think I heard.
Now it's more just like, oh god, just run.
Just run.
Well,
Save
okay.
yourself.
Dodger, you go.
I don't want to go.
Okay. I agree with Lou. I'm gonna give it a 7. I accepted that it was basically gonna be like me reading a porn with jokes, and that's literally what it is. Aside from there's no peen and V's, none of that ever happens. But it's a lot of nips. It's just so many nips, so many nips on weird bodies, and I don't know. At the point that we're at now, I don't really dislike any of the characters. They've all grown on me in weird, odd ways. If I were to say a best girl, I don't know if I want to give best girl to Rachni or Zombina, because I really like Zombina too. She's just so weird. Her boob fell off and he had to sew it back on. That was like such an odd scene that made me go, ha! When it happened.
And it's not just that it fell; she made it fall off.
She made it fall off and was like, "This'll weird him out." And he's like, "Here, I'll sew it back on." And she's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Okay, yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it to Rachni though. She was just, I don't know. There was something so likable about her, even though she was by far the most like deadly out of everybody. I don't know. Yeah, Rachni best girl for me.
Mm-hmm.
Arkada, I don't think you gave best girl.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Arkada.
Were you trying to get out of that? You're
your
trying to
best
slip
girl.
away.
I didn't realize I said it until Dodger brought it up, and then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna.
Nope, you're not getting out of this.
I want to know best girl.
For me, it would probably be Centauria, but that's because I really like the Saber base character that she's kind of the archetype of. And I actually think that her interactions with the MC worked a lot better because she sort of had... I feel like her excuse for being close to him with the whole master and servant thing worked a lot better than just random, oh, I just really, really like you. Or I just want to bone you or something. So I thought that was a bit better. So I think for me, she would be best girl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give it 2 ratings. Okay. The first one is from the, like, now after this MangaPod, looking at it like, okay, yeah, it, like Dodger said, porn with jokes.
Funny porn.
And, like, I think I would give it probably with that, like you guys did, a 7. But personal enjoyment from my looks at it, I didn't find the jokes. Most of the time I thought they were really tiring and one note. They were the same thing over and over. I know I'm not supposed to take it seriously, but the dubious consent throughout basically the entire part of it made me be like, hey, not my thing. I did enjoy the drawings of the nipples. I thought they were very impressive, and that was like, even though it was a lot, I was like, every time I was like, oh wow, that looks really great. So the art, I thought the art was a real positive plus for me. But personally, just from enjoyment and how I actually think the manga is kind of trash, I'm gonna give it a 4.769.
69, man.
Woo!
Good,
Well,
yes.
to
So there you go.
best girl.
Oh, Spider Lady.
Arachne.
Arachne.
Spider. So
Yoku.
I'm the only one left.
Yoku, you're the only one left.
I knew this
You got
day would
nowhere to
come.
run.
All
I
right.
knew this day would come.
I told you to run.
I would hope so.
All right. I see why people can enjoy this, and I somewhat enjoyed it too, but not enough for me to read as far as I read it. Like I read it to chapter 25 or 26 because I had to, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because there was a time I enjoyed it, like the beginning. It was annoying. There was a lot of nipples, funny moments, but I was just reading it. It was okay. I'm just like saying random words now.
No, you're making sense. You're making sense.
Yeah, but I can't
Fill out
really
the word
recommend
count.
this.
You're good.
I can't recommend this to anybody. I don't think I would want to recommend this to anybody. I guess if I know the person really likes this kind of stuff or really likes ecchi, he might. This is like the next level of ecchi, in my opinion. That's it goes further than most ecchi go. There's other anime that are on this level, and it reaches that level. you
Yeah.
know? But so if you enjoy that kind of stuff, this is like gonna be the shit for you. You're gonna love this shit. This is gonna be like the best thing ever.
I did have to double check the genres when I first watched it because I was like, when the nipples showed up, I was just like,
Ooh, let me make sure.
"Are we sure this is not a hentai?" I'm just gonna double check. Okay, no, it says ecchi. Okay, well then.
It says no P and V. All right.
It's like extreme ecchi, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like
It
it's
is-
the next level.
yeah.
And maybe at another like moment in my life, I would enjoy it. Maybe earlier, maybe later in my life, I might enjoy extreme ecchi more than I do now. But it's not now. So
See, I'm in my 13-year-old boy phase right now.
you're
so-
like extreme ecchi. Okay.
Yeah, so I was totally.
She's
down.
actually read all of Kiss X Sis. She just hasn't
It's
told
true.
us.
I read all of it and I was too ashamed to tell you.
Soul. You poor soul.
That's why Erin sold you out.
She wants me to get help.
I do. She needs it. She won't listen to me. She needs
Intervention.
all. She needs all of you plus like 1,000 in chat watching right now. Tell her.
Help
Yeah.
somebody.
In the end, the whole MangaPod itself made it worth reading it because this is like one of the more fun MangaPods I've been in lately, and I haven't been in that many lately, I guess. But
So it's a good it's a good manga to read if you have people to laugh
Yeah.
about it. After.
Yeah.
if you
Totally,
have
yeah.
nothing,
It's
to
a community.
I mean, if you have nobody to talk to, or I mean, if you have like one person to talk to that's like only into shonen or some shit, like this is not the manga for you to read because they're gonna think you're weird as fuck, and you are kind of weird for reading this in the first place. But
Well,
but
that's
I'm
the thing
telling
though. Is like we're in the weird position that almost nobody is in with manga, where we're gonna read it and then we have to justify
Yeah.
liking it or disliking it. Most people don't have to do that. They can.
I
read
know,
it
and
be like,
I know I'm taking that
this-
to the next
this
level.
was
Don't
like
judge me.
horrible trash, but no one ever has to know I read it
Yeah.
and liked it. You know, like
Where we
But
have to. People are looking at us to give our honest opinions on all of these different manga.
people are being like, "Look, this is probably the worst thing in the world, but I still liked it. I don't know. I don't know what else
I
to
have-
tell you."
I'm reading comments of people saying we're taking it too seriously, and I mean that's true. We probably are but we have to make some kind of discussion.
We're in a-
We
we're in a
do have to-
discussion
Yeah.
format,
Yeah, we do have to take it seriously because if we didn't take it seriously,
We're
we
not
would
gonna
just
be
be
like,
like, this
boobies.
manga has
Yeah.
tits. There
Yeah.
you go. We're done. We're
There it
done.
is.
Oh, look at that.
Thanks
We
for
saved
watching
so much
MangaPod.
time.
Yeah, it's like shortest manga pod ever.
Yeah.
But but really, it's all right. It's just there, and if you have people to talk to, if you're gonna like get a group of people to read this, not together, don't read this together. It might be a little weird at some moments, but I mean,
I don't know. People watch porn together.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm not into that. I mean,
If you're into weird, fucked up sex.
But, yeah, so like if you have somebody to talk to about this, maybe you know a friend that's read this before, and like you want to like have a good laugh of just sitting down and deconstructing it, it's gonna be fun. And I've noticed we have like a little bit more viewers than we usually do because this is such an interesting manga to even talk about. Why would you even do an hour-long discussion on this series? I don't know, but we did it.
We did
Because
it.
boobs.
Because best girl.
We did it.
Best girl.
And we did it, and it's been a blast, and just kind of, I hope that people that did read this out of the 1,000, I know I'm not the only one that didn't enjoy this. I bet you there's a little bit more than that.
Well, even on this MangaPod, you are in
Yeah.
the majority of people who did not enjoy
But I mean,
it.
as much as I did, like that felt, maybe there's a couple people that felt like I did. I mean, hopefully the discussion itself, if you stuck around till the end, made it worth it, because it did for me. And if we would do another podcast for this, I'd read more.
Aw,
yeah,
Yoku.
Fuck
Yeah,
this
I
shit.
probably would as well.
Yeah, same here.
Yoku, remember when you made us read Mason Ikoku and
And then you
weren't
didn't
there
show
for
up.
it?
The anime's
This
great.
is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
Why would you do that?
Thank
anime is
you!
He was like, guys, we gotta do Mason. Please just put it on the schedule. It's gonna be so good. And then he
I
was
love
like,
the
sorry
anime.
guys, I can't make it. And we were like,
And Dodger and I were
watched
so
the anime.
angry.
I watched the anime and I loved it, but I never read the manga. I assumed it would be as good. I
We
guess
were
it wasn't.
so. Oh,
You know
God.
what assume means, right?
It was the worst.
But yeah, final score. I'll give it 2 ratings as well.
Okay.
My honest opinion on the story and on the series, I'd probably give it. I was looking actually on the MangaPod database to see what's the lowest score I've ever given, and it was Akuno Hana. I gave it 3.
You did! That's
really?
right.
Yeah, I really did not like Akuno Hana at that moment. My opinion has changed a little bit on it since I watched the anime and stuff. It's a little bit
That was
different now,
like number
but-
3. MangaPod.
but that's what I gave, and I don't want to give it any lower score than that because this wasn't a horrible series, but just kind of the way I built it up, like in my mind, and after just kind of like reading and thinking about it, I'd probably give it like a 4. I mean, it's not that far away from Erin's. I mean, me and Erin kind of on the same boat. We enjoyed the funny moments, but it's not something that we like loved. Like other series. We've read much better series on here by far. This is like not even comparable to other stuff that we read, in my opinion, at least. Not everybody.
oh no, even I totally agree with that.
So
Yeah.
that's my final score, a 4.0, 4.000, 3 O's at the end. And favorite girl, Sue, but second close is the Spider Lady for sure.
Yeah.
You have good taste, sir. You have good taste.
Yeah, people know.
No. P.S. I just realized that I looked up the New York Times bestseller list for Monster Musume, and it was on the top manga list of the New York Times bestseller.
Well, they've done what they wanted.
It was on
They
there.
made their bed.
They want monster nips.
It was on there. It's perfect.
Oh.
It makes me so.
You
That's
blame
so
them?
great. Dude, no, I can't. I didn't even know it was licensed in America.
No, I knew it was. I just didn't know how much of it was out.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing the tweet that
Yeah.
like, one of the companies that they released it, but I never like paid attention.
Well,
I
I knew they released it because I looked it up because I wanted to see if Crunchyroll had it when I was first looking to read it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's out.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Sorry.
What?
Stupid my anime list and its automatic
Oh, it
ads.
started playing an ad,
Screaming at me. Just wanted to read a description.
Oh god, everybody's so excited for us to read Prison School next month.
I know.
And after watching
Prison
the
School, I'm
anime, I'm like
excited.
so scared to
I-
read Prison School.
I hope you guys have fun.
Oh man.
I've seen the first 2 episodes of the anime. It's
Aaron,
fun
have you
shit.
I haven't watched
anime?
it yet.
Oh
No.
my god,
I haven't
Watch
watched
the
it
anime.
yet.
make you feel so uncomfortable.
It's like
I'm so.
It is so good.
What if it doesn't make me uncomfortable? What if I'm like, yeah, this
Aaron's
is
like,
fucking
yeah.
great.
Oh, it's gonna
You're
make
gonna
you
make everybody else
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
That is great.
no, if it doesn't.
That would
make
be
you
amazing,
uncomfortable,
actually,
it'd make
Aaron,
us
if you were like, I fucking love this. I'm gonna be like, whoa, damn.
This is the shit I was
No,
looking for.
this is what I've always wanted.
I always wanted, but I never knew.
Until prison school. Alright, so that wraps up our discussion on Monster Musume, chapters 1 through 26. I am now going to read the description for the next manga that we are reading next week, and all of you guys in chat get to guess what it is. I'll give you a hint, it is our 100th episode, so we're doing something very special that you may or may not be expecting. We'll see. Alright. The people and cyborgs of the scrapyard live beneath the floating city of the Tiferus, whose inhabitants dump their junk in the scrapyard and rule above its inhabitants. Okay. One day, Ito, a former Tiferin citizen and doctor specializing in cyborg repairs, finds the intact head of a young cyborg girl in a vast pile of scrap. He takes her in, gives her a body, and the name Blank. Blank then discovers long-forgotten fighting techniques hidden in her body and decides to become a hunter-warrior, a bounty collector employed by the factories of Tiferus.
Oh, I'm so envious of you guys.
Battle Angelita! Battle Angelita!
The manga is
really
really
got
good.
it.
I don't want to spoil it to you guys, but the manga's pretty good.
It's actually happening?
It's
That's
actually
the whole
Actually
years?
doing it for
No
real.
I
way.
think it's really-
Yeah, we're
No
actually
way.
doing it. It's not a
Arkada,
joke this time.
For you and also everybody in chat, we have a long-running joke that one of our OG mods, Ian Leaf, he would every single time we were reading the description be
He
like,
would
"Is
guess.
it Battle Angel Alita? Is it Battle Angel Alita?" Because it
For
is
like
his
2
favorite.
years.
It is his favorite manga of like ever, all time, favorite piece of media. And so next week, he will be joining us for our 100th episode to read Battle Angel Alita.
Yes.
100. I'm so
Yay!
excited.
Volumes 1 through 4 is what we are reading for that.
I'm
Congratulations
excited
on
just for that.
100.
Yay! Thank you!
Wait, it's gonna be episode 100? Wait, is this 99?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 99.
Yeah, I'm so like misinformed. My bad.
We'll have done 100 manga pods. That's so cray.
So
That's a lot. I remember when we just started. I remember number 1.
I remember
I do too.
us going onto our very first call because I had never met you and Daza. And Aaron was like, you should probably meet them before we're on the show together forever.
Probably.
just walk through, maybe. And turned out so well. It was really
Yeah.
Well, we
So
were
much
talking about
has
Attack on
changed.
Titan
It's gotten
rolled
even
up,
better.
so.
Yeah, we did Attack on Titan and we did Attack on Titan last week, so it's just all coming
All
back.
coming together.
It's crazy. I can't believe we're
Now
done
we
with
have
100
monster
episodes.
nibs.
Now we have monster.
Yeah.
We've
We've
moved
gone
on.
so far.
We've grown. We have grown.
From ancestral Titan sex to monster nips.
Ancestral
Look how
Titan
we've grown.
sex
Detail.
to incest with kiss exist
Yep.
to this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wonder what's next after. I mean, prison school's next.
We have a
That's definitely.
we have prison school, and then we have
What are
girlfriends, which is our Yuri,
Yeah.
and then we have Doshitamo Furutakune Nai, which is our Yaoi that we're reading. So we're expanding our horizons.
This is one good half a year. I mean,
It is a happy year.
of like everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Righty. Hell, we even
All
have
right.
Naruto on the schedule.
We have Naruto. It's gonna
We
be
do
great.
for my
Happen.
birthday.
I feel
It's gonna be amazing. All right.
Naruto manga is really good.
you're following up Battle Angel Alita with Naruto. Oh god.
The first
My
few volumes
birthday.
is so classic.
Wow.
It was Dodger's birthday pick.
Well, in that case,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
Thank you. I just felt like, because on all of our birthdays, we try to sort of troll everybody, but at the same time, I was like, man, Naruto just ended, and I remember back in the old days, the original, like, start to Naruto, I fell in love with it so hard, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna make everybody read
We all
Naruto,
did.
suck
Most
it,
of us
I
everybody.
loved the start of Naruto.
Yeah.
Back when I first found Naruto, it changed my life.
Right? We'll reminisce on all of this when we get to our Naruto manga pod. Just gonna be us being like, remember when we were 12 and
It
discovered
changed my
this?"
life.
It changed my life.
My
Then
life.
Yoker takes a sip of vodka. He's like, it changed me.
Just a shot.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and shout out our stuff super duper fast. So once again, I am Erin of the YouTube channel HappiLeeErin. I am a YouTube weeaboo. I talk about anime and manga stuff, reviews, first impressions, vlogs, all sorts of fun things. The MangaPod Anime Expo panel will be going up this week on my channel, so make sure to be looking out for that. It was
I can't
really,
wait. I
really
haven't
fun.
seen that.
It was really
Yeah.
fun.
Sounds
so
like fun.
yeah.
What are you talking
Print
about,
it out your
Yoku? You were
face.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I was
There.
sleeping.
Yoku's face was just. So yeah, if you want to check out all of that, like that, and also the previous manga pods are hosted there, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I'm also HappiLeeErin all across the everything. So come check me out if you wanna.
Hi guys, I'm Dodger. You can find me on youtube.com/pressstart-to-continue. I play visual novels and dating sims, and I do a weekly show about the games industry. I also recently did a video that is summer 2015 anime season response. I respond to the beginnings of 15 different anime that just started. So if that sounds interesting to you, I made that, and that's up. I'm also planning on very soon playing a gay orc dating sim.
Yes,
it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna try to find
genre.
I'm gonna try to find a voice modulator so that every time I'm speaking as the orcs I can make my voice super deep.
That actually sounds amazing.
My dream. Anyways, so yeah, if that sounds awesome to you, it sounds awesome to me in theory, so maybe I could pull it off.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, on all the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS, and I also stream like 3-ish times a week at twitch.tv/dexteritybonus. Thanks for watching the show.
Yay! Your finger guns are back.
God, they've been so rampant. Like, every day I've been like, I need to stop. It's so bad.
Just get some machine guns.
Bang, bang.
But yeah, I'm Yokurama. Hi. You guys know me. I've been around. Guess what? I'm actually making a video after
what? No.
Wow.
No.
No,
I've been thinking about, should I come back or should I not? Because it's been so long. It's at the point where I'm like, my MangaPod is cool. It's really fun. And I'm watching the summer anime season, right? And there's so many good series. I just got to talk about them. So I'm going to do like my top 5, like, favorite that you must watch right now kind of kind of series. And I'm going to spoil Shirayuki Hime.
Yeah! Snow White
I know
hair.
Gangsta, we're all fans of Gangsta, everybody loves Gangsta, but Shirayuki Hime is just makes me really happy. It's like the happiest show, like, I mean, it makes me happy. I can't, that's all I guess. It's such a wonderful, beautiful, colorful, everything show. I mean, I definitely recommend that. I gotta talk about it every chance I get now. So yeah, you can find me on the link description to my YouTube channel. Expect something sometime this week. If not this week, then over the weekend or something. Maybe like Sunday or something. But yeah, and you can find me on Twitter as well. Yokurama Talks. I'm always around, posting. I got an iPhone now. I had this piece of shit, and it had a cracked camera, so I couldn't take pictures of random shit anymore. And now I can. So I'm gonna be taking pictures of walls while I wait for paint to dry. And you can reply with the pictures of editing.
That's what I did. Because Yoku posted a picture, he goes, painting a fucking hallway, and it's just him, like, with a hallway behind him. And so then Dakota posted painting, or he's like mowing a fucking yard, and he posted like a picture of him mowing. So I went editing a fucking video, and it's just me at work with like...
Talia's the best. Talia's just like trying to fucking sleep.
Yeah, Talia.
That was the best. I mean, that's okay, you win.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
But yeah, and also my animalist.net. If you want to know what I'm watching, what I'm up to date with, I'm pretty much, I think, 100% up to date with everything on there. Hummingbird I update only when I like finish something, then I'll update Hummingbird, and both Yokurama. You can find me just type in Yokurama user search, and that's pretty much all I'm around on lately.
Awesome. Lou.
My name's Lou, and I'm from Lou Talks Anime. You can find me at youtube.com/Lou Talks Anime now. Twitter, Lou Talks Anime, Ask FM, Lou Talks Anime. Please make my workday go by faster by sending in questions. I recently uploaded an update video. A couple things of note from that update video, apart from like rebranding and making people aware of that. To make up for removing the vast majority of my videos, I think I only have like 4 or 5 videos left on my channel, and I've uploaded about 100. I have 2 straw polls going. One with a list of a few old series that I've already reviewed. That if whatever is the top voted thing on there, I'll revisit. And another straw poll with shows that I've never reviewed. So I'm letting anyone that wants to participate in that straw poll, which will close on August 1st, decide what I'm going to be doing next on my channel. Just to give you an idea of some of the shows that are on these straw
Vote
polls.
for
the
Marduk
shows-
Scramble.
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm sorry, just forget about just vote Marduk. I want to see that because I watched the first movie. I want to watch the other
I have
two
the
movies, but I wanna
trilogy on
hear-
Blu-ray right now, and it's just sitting on my shelf waiting for me to watch it.
Vote for Marduk Scramble.
So
I'm just
the
kidding.
stuff that's on there right now for the stuff for shows that I could review, like Yoku mentioned, Marduk Scramble, Level E, Technoglize, Michiko and Hatchin, Beck and Bamboo Blade. For shows that I've reviewed in the past, right now in the lead, Samurai Champloo, Gurren Lagann, The Eccentric Family, and Nisekoi, season 1.
Nice.
Also, the Little Jai extended to my subscribers. My two-year anniversary is on August 10th. If you guys can get me to 2,000 subscribers before August 10th, I will marathon and review Diabolic Lovers.
Oh no! Oh,
Don't
everybody
say it.
go!
Yes.
Everyone go sub! Everyone go sub!
The
Go sub!
gauntlet has been thrown.
Oh.
Go sub!
I want to see it happen.
Oh,
I want to see it happen.
God.
Right
You're
now,
a good
I'm,
guy, Lou. You're a good guy.
I'm well over 1,500, so it's not that hard.
I will still never forget Aaron and Angie and I all watching all of Diabolic Lovers, and then the next day I went to look up vids from the actual game, and I was like, the game is worse. How on earth could the game possibly be worse? The game is worse than the anime. It's incredible.
That's the
And it's
only
getting a
like.
second season.
I think that's.
No.
I think that's the angriest drunk I've ever been is watching that series.
It was almost just like, what the fuck are we
That should have been live streamed.
So
I know.
their reaction
Prime entertainment
should
right
be,
there.
should be an indication of a reason why you should respond to my challenge.
Go
So-
sub, go sub.
Yeah, no.
Go check it out.
Awesome.
YouTube.com/LouTalksAnime now.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Arkada.
Hi, I'm Arkada. I'm from youtube.com/glassreflection. I do anime reviews and first reactions currently and other random shit when I feel like it, and I want to do it and apparently piss off my subscriber base because I'm not allowed to do anything non-anime related. Elsewhere on the internet, I'm usually by Arkada, though sometimes the name is taken by people I don't know or have never heard of. In that case, it's usually GR Arkada or just Glass Reflection. And I do have a hummingbird in my anime list, but I'm not going to bother pointing you to that way because I don't update them because I'm lazy. Really lazy.
It's got to become a habit, man.
I know,
Really.
it's got, and like you get
I
into
mean-
that habit, and then you just spam it with like all these different updates because you're like, oh right, yeah, I watched this and this and this and this and this,
I'm
and then
trying
like,
so
now-
hard not to be that guy. I try to like
No.
open it up while I'm watching anime and then just be like, watch that episode?
Yeah, you gotta get used to
episode?
having like a tab open. Every time I open a browser, I got my anime list up.
Yeah.
You know, kind of that.
But I don't always watch it on my computer, see? And then when I'm out in the
I
living
got
room,
an app.
on the-
I got an app.
Yoku is so mad that
I'm
you
so
don't
ready.
update your mind.
No, the thing is because my anime list, I'm like kind of like hummingbird. My anime list, I'm liking my anime list because they've been updating their shit. They added streaming recently. It's kind of shit, but
Yeah.
they added
they
streaming.
kind of had to update it because Hummingbird and AnyList came out, and
But the best
now
thing is their
they have
any list,
competition.
their any list thing, seasonal thing. They added, but you can go and click archive, and you can look through every single season from every year back to like 1919.
yeah,
So that's just blows my mind because I really like going back and looking through seasons. I mean, and like
Yeah.
I found so many series that I like started watching and like got interested in because of that feature. So they're really at their top of their game at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a really big fan of that site. That's like one of my most visited sites probably over the years because I was if it wasn't for that I'd probably be rewatching shit that I've already seen and I wouldn't know that I already seen it. And I'd be
yeah.
like, this is interesting.
I think one of the main reasons that kept me off of doing those update things is back when I was really updating my anime list. I was always like really anal about rewatching because I wanted the little thing at the bottom that says how many hours I've
Oh, yeah.
wasted on anime to be exact.
Oh
And
no!
Yeah, you
Never
don't want it
happened.
to be about. I about wasted them. Yeah.
Yeah, about yeah.
Approximately.
Well, I
Okay.
really should update them, but I just
It's a pain in the ass once you fall behind. I fell behind for a few months.
yeah.
And I'm just I
And
almost
then I
dropped
have to
it.
choose. It's like, well, do I update my anime list? Do I do Hummingbird? Do I do any list?
There's so many now.
There's so many. And they all have their
So-
pluses and minuses, so it's like I have to choose. Oh no, that's not good. Crap. Maybe I should just do my anime list and then use the import feature and then just import everything over again, and that might work out better, but I don't know.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot since I've updated. I'm like 2 or 3 years behind. It's
Oh God.
Man.
Yeah. Good luck.
That's-
Sorry,
Real good
I'm very-
luck.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. And I've watched a lot of shit. A lot.
So much.
So much.
Fuck.
So much.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We
No
really
problem.
appreciate having you come back on, and we'll have to have you on again for sure.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
you're awesome, buddy.
Yes, thank you. And
It was
thank you.
very fun.
Yay! I'm glad you had fun talking about monster boobs.
Yeah. talk about-
And thank you so much to everybody who watches in chat, both on Twitch and on YouTube. We really appreciate it. And also to everybody who watched the VOD of this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We will be here same time, same place next week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, reading Battle Angel Alita, volumes 1 through 4 with Ian Lee for our 100th episode. Whee! It's gonna be awesome.
It's happening.
Happening, guys. It's gonna be
It's
great.
Really good. You guys are gonna love it.
I'm stoked. I'm super, super stoked. So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye!
Bye.
That is
Mwah.
Sue Best Girl.
Mwah.